Desires for sense gratification. In you. Rajita. Performed. Not. Parama. O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rohanti. Do grow. Produce other bodies. Yatha. Just as. Karambha Bijani. Sterilized or fried seeds. Jnana Atmani. In your whose existence is full of knowledge. Agunamaye. Who is not affected by the material qualities. Gunagata. From the material qualities. Asha. Of
of the person.
Dvandvajalani, the networks of duality.
The networks of duality.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace HG Caitanya Candra. O Supreme Good Person, O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material life. Purport. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 4.9, where the Lord says, Janma karma chamidiyam evam yogi tattata chakvadiham puna janma naitimam iti sojana. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. If one simply engages in Krishna consciousness to understand Krishna, he surely becomes immune to the process of repeated birth and death. As clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita, Chakva Deham Puna Janma Naichi, such a person, simply by engaging in Krishna consciousness or understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, becomes quite fit to return home back to Godhead. Even those who are obsessed with material desires may also come to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead so steadily that they go back to Godhead. The fact is that if one comes to Krishna consciousness, although he may have many material desires, he becomes increasingly attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna through association with the Supreme Lord by chanting His holy name. The Supreme Lord and the holy name are identical. Thus he becomes uninterested in attachment to material enjoyment. The perfection of life is to be uninterested in material enjoyment and interested in Krishna. If one comes to Krishna consciousness somehow or other, even for the material gain, the result is that he will be liberated. Kama dvesham bhayat snehat. Whether for the satisfaction of material desires, because of the influence of envy, because of fear, because of affection, or because of any other reason, if one comes to Krishna, his life is successful. Om Jnana Timranasya Jnanana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthavitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamayam Dadati Swabdandikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sagaranatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Caitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Saganaralita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagapate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sudevi Namami Hai Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu ye rajitana paramaranti yatta karam vijani gyanatvam yagunamaye gunagana toshat dvanda jalani. O Supreme Lord, if persons obsessed with material desires for sense gratification through material opulence worship you, who are the source of all knowledge and are transcendental to material qualities, they are not subject to material rebirth, just as sterilized or fried seeds do not produce plants. Living entities are subjected to the repetition of birth and death because they are conditioned by the material nature. But since you are transcendental, one who is inclined to associate with you in transcendence escapes the conditions of material nature. So here, very important, we hear the... We got some minutes?
No, sorry.
Ja. Du har det okay med engelsk, Kasper? Det er godt, så taler vi. So here we have the recipe of how to get out of repeated birth and death. So that's quite something. Right? It's not like everything is there in Bhagavatam, but this is really the essence. How to get out of the samsara. Because most people will understand this is not really a place where you find real satisfaction. Because we are constantly getting into distress. You're constantly getting disappointed. Something constantly getting suffering in so many ways. It's three ways of get suffering. Adibhaujika, Adidaivika, and Adiatmika klesha. So that's Adibhaujika, that's coming from other living entities. Adidaivika is coming from nature, like natural catastrophes and tsunamis, etc. And Adiatmika klesha, the problems coming from the mind. So these three kleshas or troubles are haunting everyone. So intelligent people, they find out this isn't why should I try hope against hope to endeavor for happiness in this place where it's actually impossible. But because most people, they don't have any kind of alternative. It doesn't have any kind of alternative. So what to do? Because life have to go on. So then it'll just be one, okay, I'll walk the line. I'll just continue going through the motions. And then there will be some little enjoyment there, and there will be some suffering, and there will be a little enjoyment, there will be some suffering. And where does the whole thing end up? Old age, disease, and death. Everybody knows it. But very few people really come to the point where they really know it, where they fully understand. That's why Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he was asked by his father, by Yamaraj, and he was asked, what is the most amazing thing in this world? Yudhishthira answered, the most amazing thing is that everyone in this world is dying. But everybody is living and thinking like, I will never die. I will live forever. This is stupidity. So this is the most amazing thing in this world, that everyone sees it. Just open the newspapers, or just like you see old people all over the place. You see sick people all over the place. And you know that people die. Here in this part of the world, everything is taken care of, and ambulance comes and take the corpse away, and they're buried in the ground so nobody sees. Other cultures, it's more visible. So this is what this world is. This is where the whole thing ends up. So we can struggle very hard to make a whole empire and make our life perfect. But that's where it is for all. No matter how much money you have, no matter how much fame you have, no matter how strong you are physically or mentally, no matter how many weapons you have, death will come. Old age will come, and disease will come. So it is not intelligence. To build one's whole existence for something that is very fleeting. Here today and gone tomorrow. So that's what we hear here today, that there's a solution to all this. There is actually a way to become fully happy, even in this world, when you understand how the whole thing works. How do you get to understand how the whole thing works? So many ideas. Darwin theory, which is only a theory. So many ideas out there how the whole thing is working, right? If you do like this, if you perform yoga every day, right? You'll keep your body fit. So then you'll live happily. Yeah, but for how long? You might be more healthy, But again, for how long? When old age sets in, no chance. Right? It's just a matter of time. You might have 10 more years, good years, that one was not. Or if you live very healthy, or if you perform a lot of exercise, or if you... We think all these valuable soldiers will protect us, but they can't. Det håber har på de lokale. Det håber har jeg kalatis det at masen Jesu satsroki til som pramado nidana pashana bina pashati. That everyone in this world is constantly striving for perfection. We want to be protected, we want to be safe. That's why we build houses and we have doors and locks and alarm systems. So we will constantly want to be protected. But what is it ultimately we want to be protected from? Pain, suffering, and death. So you can protect yourself for a short while. But Bhagavatam says, Ashatrapi, they are valuable soldiers. All the things you seek your protection in, they are valuable soldiers. So what is a soldier? He's there to protect. It's really a kshatriya, one is protecting against pain. So that's a soldier, he's protecting you. But they are valuable, because who can ultimately protect us? No, except one person. I guess it's Krishna. Krishna is the person who can protect us, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the source of everything. And many people come to that conclusion, there must be something higher. So then they start searching, what is that? What is it? Because there's so many traditions, there's so many religions in this world. So what is the real thing? And most people, unfortunately, they are going in that quest, wanted to get cheated. They're going into this quest, wanted to get cheated. That's really the thing. They say, yes, I want God. I want to get an understanding how the whole thing works. But I don't want the conditions. Because there's always conditions. No matter what you do, there's always some conditions. There's always some rules, some regulations. If you want to attain this, you need to do some things, and you need to avoid other things. So they go into the search in religion and says, yes, I'm looking for a God that can give me everything I want, take care of my material needs, and when I die, he'll take care of me also. When I'm in trouble, he'll take care of me also. What should I do in return? As little as possible. That's really, most people, that's their approach. So Krishna says in the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, says, yeah, okay, Krishna says, then I'll reciprocate like that. If this is what you want, if you want to take it cheaply, if you want to take the shortcuts, I'll give you the shortcut. But you won't get the real result. That's often when you take shortcuts. Let's say whatever, you want to get a lot of muscles. So you can take shortcuts. What could be a shortcut? Steroids. Eat all these pills. Right? So you'll get the muscles, right? But what is it really? Just pumped up. And it'll ultimately make you sick. So there's always the shortcuts you can take, but many times they lead to degradation or a terrible destination. So Krishna says, yes, there are shortcuts, but you have to listen. You have to find the right shortcuts, and you need to do. This is how you should do. So when you search, you'll often end up a place where you can get your needs fulfilled. I don't want really to change my life in any way, but I want the ultimate result. And they will say, you'll get it. You'll get it, but they're cheating. They're lying. You can't. It's very simple. Right? Krishna, he makes rules. This is what you need to do. Dharma to Sakshat Bhagavat Puranitam. Dharma, real religion, is created by Krishna. It's coming from Krishna, like everything else. So if we want to cheat Krishna, we can, but we can't. So many persons have tried in the past. That Putana, she wanted to kill Krishna. Kamsa, he wanted so many ways to cheat Krishna. So Kamsa, he sent all these demons to kill Krishna when he was here on the earth, playing the role of a human being 5,000 years ago. Sent so many people to kill Krishna, so many demons. And yeah, Putana is a good example. She killed so many children of the Rajvasis, wasn't it? So many children of the Gopis and Gopas, Krishna's close associates. No. It seemed like that, but actually it was associates of Kansa. So he thought he killed the Rajvasis, the inhabitants of Krishna's place. But actually, he was killing his own. And ultimately, where did it end up? Kansa was killed. Putana was killed. All these demons was killed by a little boy. But that was God. So the same way we can try, like Trinavata, the world demon, we just heard it this morning in Nectar of Devotion. The world demon that came and took up Krishna flying in the sky and then wanted to crush him to the ground. Krishna just took it, and Krishna was enjoying the ride, like people going in Tivoli. So people going in Tivoli and going on the roller coaster and do all these things, it's fun. Somewhat fun, I don't know. So Krishna also likes to have fun, so he has a whirlwind way going like this. You don't need a flying carpet or any of these. There's a demon coming, and Krishna will have fun just going there. Extreme high in the air. And then ultimately, because this is a demon, and Krishna just kills him. A little boy and just taking these struggles him and this huge demon, hey, leave me, child, and fall crashing to the ground, killed. And even though Krishna kills them, he takes care of their soul. Extreme mercy. This is also what we hear, extreme mercy of the Lord. Even those who try to kill him, and we are in that category also, because we've been atheists. Killing Krishna can also just say he doesn't exist. That's also a way of killing him. It doesn't exist. So even those who try to kill him, try to persuade others he doesn't exist, try to disgrace him in so many ways, he's always there just to turn and listen from somebody who has knowledge about him and start following that process. Say, I'll take care of that person forever. Krishna is constantly taking care. He's taking care of everyone. He's taking care of the birds and the beasts and all these things. Krishna is constantly taking care. But he says, for those who approach me with the right motive, I take special care. For the devotees, I give my very self. So if we come to the point where we see, yes, there is suffering in this world, there's no way to avoid it, there's no way to avoid death, old age, disease, no way. Then we approach religion. If we are very fortunate, we go through all the allurements on that path and leave them behind. And you see, best way to check, what is the result? Person is following the different kind of path, the different kind of traditions. What is the result they get? Where do they end up? Are they actually becoming better human beings? Are they actually getting an understanding? Are they actually becoming blissful? Are they actually becoming happy? Because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for happiness. That's only to be found in pure love. So without Krishna, that's impossible. Completely impossible. So that's why Krishna, he gives the real thing and is cheating. For those who want to be cheated, Krishna is the biggest cheat. He says, you follow this path, but what will be the result? It is mentioned in Bhagavatam, there's no way to get out of repeated birth and death unless you approach Krishna. So what does it mean to approach Krishna? Prabhupada quotes here the Bhagavad Gita verse, Janma Karma Chayadivam, that one will just know my Janma and Karma, my birth and my activities that are transcendental. One knows them in truth. He will never take birth again in this material world. So again, if you see any other tradition, what do they know about God? That's another good test. Just ask them, who is God? He's the Almighty. But what does that mean? Please explain. What does it mean? What is the Almighty? He's unlimited. Fine. What does he look like? Where does he live? What is his name? They will have no answer. Or they will say you can have no image of God. But how will you develop love for God if you have no idea of who he is? Impossible. So that's why we need to come to the understanding. We need to know who is the person. Who is the person God? How will I get to know him? This is what Bhagavatam is all about here. And this is what we hear today in this verse. How to get out of the snares of illusion. How to break the illusion. Because that's really what it is. It's one big illusion. Everybody's constantly running around this illusion, looking for happiness, looking for the real thing. But because they want to be cheated, they're cheated. We heard yesterday about the World Cup now in soccer and football. Where was it? In Brazil. So they have a stadium for 250,000 people. So they come 250,000 people and much more sitting at home on the television. So they're sitting watching 11 people, 11 grown-up playing like children. And they are worshipping them. They're calling their names, they are having t-shirts. Huh? I don't even know a football player. Years back it was Madonna. Madonna is the biggest. Huh? Maradona, I can't even remember his name. Madonna is a rock star. But that's really what it is. They're insignificant with all respect. They're insignificant with all respect. Because they haven't understood the basic thing. They don't even know who they are. And people are worshipping them. Because this need is there. It's natural. It's our dharma. It's our nature is to worship. So you can choose. You want to worship one who's good at kicking a ball. Or you can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The source of everything. Karana, Sarva Karana, Karana. Source of everything in existence. That are unlimited powerful, unlimited purity, unlimited wealthy, unlimited knowledgeable. So who you choose? 99% of this world, yeah, you're saying like this, what should I choose? It's obvious what to choose, but 99% they choose Maradona. Or some other rock star, or pop star, or whatever it is. What kind of world is this? People are so degraded, they just worship people who are just running fast. Or the animals, they're outdoors and all these things. Who can run fastest? The fastest, he can maybe run 100 meters in 9 seconds, or I don't know what it is. But what about a gepard, or a tiger, or all these lion? How fast can they run? No chance. He won't even reach a few meters until the lion. Jumping high. How many animals? Kangaroo. All these things they're doing. See how high I can jump. Animals, they do it constantly. See how fast I can run. Yeah, fine. See tiger. See how much money I have. See how strong I am. Yeah, try wrestling with a chimpanzee. So all these, it's just it belongs to this temporary world, where everything is just an artificial show. The whole thing is just an artificial show. Just everybody's trying to convince themselves and each other that this is the goal of life. I have it made. I have so much money. I have a house in Hawaii. I have a house by the sea. I have all these things. I have so much power. I have so many weapons. I am such a beautiful girl.